Who Am I in Christ? A series on identity. Today we will discuss the letter I for influence, because the influences around me are directly related to who I am. Do you know what will happen when you throw a rock into a dam? Yes, it creates a ripple effect on the water, and it grows in size from a small ring to a bigger and an even bigger one. And if I light a match, everyone will say, "Be careful, because you can ignite a huge fire." Small pebble, big wave. Small spark, big fire. Small hinges open big doors. There are quite a few idioms describing this effect, and I'm amazed sometimes by knowing that I could be more influential than I thought. I can have an effect on all my surroundings. I can do it in visible ways through my deeds and behavior, by being a good, positive influence when I care, when I share, by showing respect, by working hard, by being helpful and honest, standing up for what is right, even to keep my moral values, helps me to influence my community. Or I can do it more subtly by having the right attitude and pondering on good things. By doing this, it is almost like sending out invisible radio waves, reaching far and wide. And if any receiver is tuned to the right wavelength, it will be received by that person, and they will hear the message loud and clear. If I have a bad attitude and I complain about everything, then I influence those around me and they will start to act the same. But if I'm friendly and patient, that will motivate others also to be the same. In the Bible, Paul writes to his young friend Timothy, "Do not let anyone look down on you because you are still young, but you should set an example for other believers." From a young age, he could influence others by his words, that's what he says, by his ways, how he acts, by his love for people, his attitude and his faith, that's his Christianity, and through living a pure life by keeping his moral standards. I wonder if Paul wrote this only because he thought about Timothy having a good name and a good life? Or did Paul perhaps recognize that Timothy could be a city changer, a young leader that could carry out an influence through being an example to others? I know that every scholar has a deep desire to be chosen as a leader, because leadership is one of the most prominent ways of influence. Unfortunately, your leadership badge on your blazer does not ensure that you are a true leader. But true leadership is revealed in your attitude, in your actions, in your relationships, your faith, and in your legacy. That is what you have rubbed off onto other people. And this counts for both negative and positive things. A gang leader has a very big influence in his gang. He could be an incredible leader, but not good influence in the community. His imprint might have been corrupt, even though he had been an efficient leader. All children either are the influence or they are being influenced. If you easily give way to peer pressure, that's the stream of wrong beliefs from the culture you live in, then your natural leadership abilities can be suppressed. You only become a copy of what the community wants everyone to be, while you should have been the one to make the waves, to light the fire, to broadcast, to influence. King Solomon warned us in Proverbs 1 verse 10. He says, "When sinners entice you, do not consent." You have to say no to those who tempt you if you want to be a positive influence, or else you will be caught in a stream of filth from which you might not easily be able to escape. Solomon's advice is to choose the right friends, for a man of many friends can be ruined. Paul, on the other hand, teaches us that anyone who plays in the mud like a pig deceives himself if he believes that he would stay clean. He warns us in 1 Corinthians 15 by saying, "Do not be deceived, because bad company ruins good morals." If you hang out with people who have bad habits, telling dirty jokes, having a negative attitude, you will become just like them. That is why it's important to surround yourself with friends and mentors. Those are the adults who can give you advice. People that can influence you for the better in order for you to be a good influence as well. One of the most powerful ways to make a difference in your own community is through your sound. Remember, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And whatever you say have the power to change the atmosphere. In the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth simply by speaking, "Let there be light, let there be plants," and so it was. You and I can call things that are unseen into existence through the words we declare. One can even change the structure of water by speaking over the water. There had been a Japanese doctor who did this experiment. He took 3 glasses of water with rice in it and placed them in a room which he entered once a day. To the first glass, he said, "Thank you." The second glass, he ignored totally. And to the third glass, he said, "You're an idiot." After a month of declaring and speaking over each glass, change began to show. The first glass started to ferment and had a pleasant aroma. The second glass started to become moldy. But the last glass, which was called an idiot, turned pitch black and had a bad smell to it. Did you know that nowadays pleasant music is used to grow vegetables, to calm patients during heart surgery, to increase milk production in cows, to cause children to memorize better, to enhance shopping, and many more? The Bible also speaks of the major influence words can have, like a small match lighting a big fire. It says in James 3, "Likewise the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark." If I would strike a tuning fork at the frequency of 329 hertz, which is the sound F, where does the sound go when I can't hear it anymore? Had it disappeared? No, because according to the laws of science, Newton discovered that no energy can be lost, but it can only move from one form to another. So where is the sound? Could it be in my heart, in my head, in the walls, in the air, or could it be transmitted to my bones? Solomon wrote about hateful words being like knives cutting one's back, and someone listening to a lot of nagging, that their bones can dry out. And it had been proven that someone who regularly listens to negative speech will end up having arthritis and become very sick. When I say negative things about my school, my home, and my friends, and even the government, then I spread negative power and energy that could destroy the community. It is like filthy mud that comes from my mouth, defiling all around me. But if I speak life, I can turn the curses around. My words can be like medicine that can bring healing and restoration. Proverbs 11 verse 11 declares that by the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked, it is overthrown. James 3 says, "And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. Just such a place is the tongue amongst our members. It infects the whole body and puts the entire life cycle on fire." Let us turn around the flames of devastation that people utter about our country. And let us light up a new flame, one burning with love and speaking words of life and hope and light and love. Because you and I are a big influence in the country. You can start right now by declaring aloud, I believe in the one true God. I believe He has a plan for this country, this town, this church, this house, and this school. Today I choose to speak life, words of hope and light to a dark, hopeless world. I know that my words can build this city again. I bless my friends. I bless my parents. I bless my teachers. I bless my principal. I bless the government of this town and this city. I bless everyone with whom I live in this country. My good deeds and my words will have a good and positive influence until Jesus comes again. You know that you have a choice. You can ask yourself, by what am I influenced? Good or bad things? You can ask, what kind of influence am I? A positive or a negative one? And ask yourself, what are my words like? Is it like mud or is it like medicine?